Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's episode is dedicated to our resident witch hunter, Rowan Church. Thanks for your continued support, Rowan. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to episode 89. Now, the final crisis has begun, but we've still got a job to do. We're currently in the middle of escorting one of House Ravenholt's agents to the remote city of Wholenessland. It's not the most exciting work, but as usual, we've encountered some potentially interesting enemies. Taking on a hedge knight should hopefully make the trip a lot more exciting. After some of the more cluttered battlefields we've had lately, it's nice to get back to basics, facing off with an enemy company in a nice open field. As usual, we'll hold our ground and let the brigands make the first move. Oh, and of course we need to get Sigmund to a safe distance. No sense in risking collateral damage. Fox gets us started, shooting an enemy bowman through the leg and hand. Washtek finishes off the badly wounded bowman, then holds fire, waiting for a better shot. Alessandro puts an arrow through a crossbowman's shoulder. Mark kills the crippled crossbowman, then sets his sights on closer targets. Roderick wades into the enemies on the south, readying his greatsword. He tears into one of the bandits, crippling the man's arm. Igot meets the enemies on the north, executing one of the bandits with a single swing of his great axe. Ah, and there's our hedge knight. No name, just an anonymous mercenary hedge knight, I guess. Eraton lands a glancing hit with a throwing axe. Kairon moves up alongside Roderick, readying his dagger. And Reinhard prepares his spear, ready to repel the advancing bandit horde. Belfontaine lands 2 hits, gutting an unfortunate bandit. Oh, one of the bandit crossbowmen misses his mark, killing one of his allies instead. Washtek quickly rewards him by putting an arrow through his shoulder. Woe hacks at the enemies with his billhook, slicing a bandit's artery. Undeterred, the bandits continue advancing into the raiders' lines. Fox takes out what looks like the last of the bandit crossbowmen. The other one must have run away. Oh, no. There he is. Washtek scatters shots across the bandit formation. Rowan puts a crossbow bolt through a bandit's arm, and now he's under threat by the enemy hedge knight. Woe cuts down 2 of the bandits in rapid succession. Roderick turns into a whirling dervish of death, killing one bandit, decapitating another, then lopping the ear off of a third. Igot decapitates one of the fleeing bandits, then he moves to face off with the enemy Hedge Knight. Araton runs down another fleeing bandit, wounding him with a throwing axe. Kairon executes a badly wounded bandit, then moves up and pierces another bandit's side. Reinhard turns his attention to the enemy Hedge Knight. He forces the Hedge Knight back with his shield, then quickly moves to protect our back line. We've pretty much won at this point, but we should be seeing Wiedergangers any time now. Our archers focus fire on one of the last remaining bandits, tearing through his armor and piercing his leg. And Rowan lands the killing shot. Oh, and another one as well. Nicely done. Mark cuts down the second to last fleeing bandit. The rest of the raiders start converging on the enemy Hedge Knight. Kairon kills the last of the fleeing bandits, then begins doubling back to rejoin the company. Ah, there we go. We knew that was coming. Fox mows down the first of the freshly risen dead. Belfontaine flesh wounds the enemy Hedge Knight. Araton lands a hit as well, breaking the knight's morale. Our archers fall back, keeping a watchful eye on the enemy corpses. Igot lands another hit on the panicking Hedge Knight. Reinhard lands a light hit as well. The Hedge Knight tries to flee, taking several additional hits in the process. The dead are coming back in full force now. We've got 5 new Wiedergangers on the field. Fox takes down one of the Wiedergangers, but the rest of them are still on their feet. Woe finishes off the unfortunate Hedge Knight, and the rest of the raiders quickly turn their attention to the restless dead. Mark takes down one of the Wiedergangers. And another one. Now the trick's going to be clearing these guys out before the Hedge Knight comes back to life. Okay, we've got 3 more zombies to deal with. Fox takes down an undead crossbowman. Ah, dang it. I really should have seen that coming. Alessandro takes down 2 more Wiedergangers, and several of the other raiders start rushing towards the undead Hedge Knight. Fox takes down another zombie, but now he's finally exhausted. Kairon clears out the last of the Wiedergangers, allowing the rest of the company to once again focus on the Hedge Knight. Okay, let's see if we can get this wrapped up. There we go. Woe, once again, kills the Hedge Knight. Hopefully it'll actually stick this time. No level ups, and it looks like Fox pulls MVP with 5 kills, but Mark and Woe were right behind him with 4 kills each. Oh, and the Hedge Knight dropped a unique sword, Sir Lambert's Bloodspiller. I wasn't expecting a Highlander reference. Well, that'll definitely be going to Sir Skelebit. As for the rest of this stuff, I'll pick out the best pieces and then we'll continue on our way to Wholeness Land. A pile of rubble stands off the side of the path. There before it is a studious graybeard looking keenly at the stones. He's so deep in thought, he probably wouldn't notice if you simply walked on. My curiosity's piqued. Let's see what he's up to. Suddenly, a crossbow aims over your shoulder and fires so closely you can feel the air rushing past the twang of its rope. The bolt pierces the old man's skull and he tips forward, head to the mud, arse in the air, hand still beside himself in dispirited supination. You turn to see Rowan Church, the witch hunter, standing behind you. He lowers the crossbow and walks over to the corpse, grabbing it by the nape of the neck and putting a stake through its back. The body retches with a shriek, and the clothing bloats as the body implodes, a swirling dust hurriedly exiting out of the cloak as though it had been caught impersonating a man. The witch hunter turns to you. Necrosavant. Rare. Extremely dangerous. Well, thanks, Rowan. I don't think I've ever seen that event before. I'm guessing it's probably unique to the Undead Crisis. Now I'm curious how it would have played out if we didn't have a witch hunter in our company. Anyway, we're currently headed back to Dornan, so let's get this escort contract wrapped up and see what other trouble we can get ourselves into. Okay, we're back in Dornan, and it looks like the village is suffering from a new status effect. Terrified villagers. Hard to really blame them for that, given recent events. Anyway, I'm guessing it has something to do with this new 3-skull contract, so let's check that out. A few peasants walk up to you, and one even offers a hug. You decline. It's good to see you again, Sellsword. Sigurd of Dornan's been looking for you. Sigurd of Dornan's got a map of a cemetery on his desk. Half the plot squares appear to have been filled in with ink. Every square you see there has been robbed. Every night they come, and every night I can't quite seem to catch them. I'm at my wit's end here, so I've decided to end this once and for all. I want you to go to that graveyard and kill every grave-robbing fool you see. Got it? Well, it's not quite the kind of job I was hoping for, but the pay is good. These grave robber contracts are usually pretty straightforward, so hopefully we can knock it out real quick. Then we can find something more interesting to do. Oh, okay. It's right over there. Well, once again, we won't even need to pause the episode. Let's just make sure that we've got a suitable lineup. Yeah, I think that looks fine. Let's get moving. We've got some Noxerer up north. We'll ignore them for now. Oh, and there's another undead stronghold, the Crypt of Ogmar. We'll probably have to deal with that sooner or later. The grave robbers are here, just as promised. You catch them mid-dig, your brothers jumping over tombstones with their weapons raised. Alright, let's do this. Okay, well, the forest terrain doesn't look that bad, but I am a bit concerned about this elevated terrain here. We also need to try to pick off those marksmen as quickly as possible, before they can entrench themselves behind cover. Potato gets first blood, putting an arrow through a crossbowman's arm. Alessandro takes out a crossbowman with a single well-placed shot. Mark lands a glancing hit. Sir Skelebit takes the lead, claiming the high ground before the bandits can get to it. There we go. Positioning is a bit awkward, but now we can make full use of the high ground advantage. Moving into round 2. Washtek kills a bandit with his first shot, then cripples another bandit's hand with his third. Potato finishes off the wounded crossbowman. Alessandro cripples a bandit bowman's arm. Then Mark pierces the archer's shoulder as well. Henry lands a glancing hit on the lead bandit. Oh, and we've got another Hedge Knight in sight. That's some unusual looking gear. The odds are against it, but we might actually get another unique item out of this. We've got more crossbows in sight. Moving into round 3. Oh, shoot. Okay. Looks like Henry just suffered a pierced chest. I was afraid something like that might happen. Okay, we're up. Let's see if we can pick off some of those crossbows. Potato picks off the wounded archer. Mark takes out one of the advancing bandits, then wounds another. Unfortunately, we don't really have a good angle on these crossbowmen. I'd like to move Dominic up to join the others, but I really think he needs to stay where he is to provide better cover for the archers. Vlad destroys a bandit's armor with his billhook. Kairon moves up, immediately breaking a bandit's morale. He moves up a little farther and pierces a bandit axeman's chest. The enemy Hedge Knight carefully approaches on the south. Reinhardt lands a couple of hits with his spear, destroying a bandit's helmet. Henry starts falling back. We've got yet another crossbowman on the field. Dominic and Kairon both just took light hits. Washtek quickly sidesteps to a safer position. Dominic continues holding his ground. Potato lands a light hit on a flanking bandit. Roderick cleaves through a bandit's helmet, slicing the man's neck open. Alessandro cripples the flanking bandit's arm, and Vlad quickly finishes the crippled bandit off. Then he executes another wounded bandit for good measure. Nicely done. Henry is already pretty badly wounded, so I don't really want to put him at risk. I guess we'll move him up to the center of our formation. He should be pretty safe there. Mark takes down another crossbowman, then starts scouting the battlefield for a new target. He lands 2 more hits in rapid succession, taking down a second flanking bandit. Kairon pierces a bandit's hand, breaking the man's morale. I'd actually like to move him further up. Unfortunately, all this forest terrain's in the way. Kairon makes the best of his situation by crippling a broken bandit's arm. Reinhard gut wounds a bandit, then kills him with a second strike. Let's see if we can get to those crossbowmen. Ah, of course. There are bushes in the way. Roderick decapitates a fleeing bandit. Round 5. Here comes more crossbow fire. Ah, and this time Henry's hand is crippled. Oh, we've got a bandit leader on the field. Raymond the Ox. He's got some pretty solid gear, but nothing unique. Sir Skelebit moves up to support Reinhard. Alessandro pierces an enemy archer's side. Sergeant Baggins starts retreating. He can't afford to be hit again. Roderick quickly goes on the defensive as he finds himself facing off against the enemy Hedge Knight. Janos finally lands a hit, piercing a bandit's side. He quickly follows up by shattering the bandit's arm with his hammer. One of the bandits tries to flee, and Kairon responds with a flurry of dagger strikes. And we've got zombies on the field. Hopefully that will distract their crossbowmen. It actually looks like they're completely ignoring the Wiederganger. Washtek finishes off the wounded bowman. Mark cripples a bandit axeman's hand. Alessandro pierces a crossbowman's side. Henry retreats to a safe distance. Looks like the enemy hedge knight's on the defensive. That means we can ignore him for the moment. Roderick kills another badly wounded bandit, but he holds off on attacking the hedge knight for now. Kairon pierces a broken bandit's arm before becoming exhausted. Reinhard pierces a bandit's leg, then tears into the Wiederganger in front of him. We've got bandits fleeing on the south. There's another light hit on Dominic. We really need to take out those crossbows. Sir Skelebit pushes a bandit to the brink of death. Wojtek shoots one of the last crossbowmen in the face. Vlad executes another wounded bandit. Roderick holds his ground for the moment, waiting for the hedge knight to drop his guard. Janos is having a really hard time getting past this guy's defenses. The two bandits on the south have re-engaged. Moving into round 8. Okay, we're past the 30-minute mark, and I've got a couple of things I need to take care of, so let's pause here, and we'll be right back. And we're back. It's about 3 hours later. I finished my errands, and I even took a short nap. Now let's see here. Okay, we've got a bandit leader on the north and a hedge knight on the south. But if I recall correctly, our biggest threat are those two crossbowmen hiding in the back. Let's see if our archers can clear a path for our frontliners. Nice. Potato takes out a bandit long axeman with his first shot. Sir Skelebit is up against Raymond the Ox, but he doesn't have much of a chance to hit. He'll hold for now. Let's start moving the archers up. That way they can fire through the ranks. There we go. Alessandro finishes off another crossbowman. Roderick flesh wounds the mercenary hedge knight. Vlad switches off to his shield and dagger and moves up to support Sir Skelebit, piercing Raymond the Ox's side. Kairon flesh wounds the Hedge Knight, but he's too exhausted to do much else. Reinhard cuts down a Wiederganger, then he moves up to engage one of the last bandits. Looks like there was another crossbowman hiding in the fog of war. That's annoying. Okay, let's bring Dominic up. There we go. Dominic finally takes out the bandit who is holding the center choke point. That gets us one step closer to those crossbowmen. Sir Skelebit takes a couple of shots at Raymond, landing a solid flesh wound. Looks like the bandit marksmen are starting to get nervous. They both just wasted their turns. Wojtek shoots down one of the panicking marksmen. Vlad kills Raymond the Ox with 3 well-placed dagger strikes. Mark cuts down the last Wiederganger. Then he kills a bandit for good measure. Roderick is slowly losing his fight with the enemy Hedge Knight. Reinhard pierces the final bandit's chest. Janos joins the fight against the Hedge Knight, immediately breaking his morale. Okay, we're definitely on the home stretch here. We just need to finish these guys off before everyone starts coming back to life. One more Wiederganger on the field, and the last crossbowman is trying to run. Kairon kills the broken Hedge Knight, repeatedly stabbing him in the back. Alessandro takes down another Wiederganger. Most of the raiders are starting to get pretty tired, so I think it's time to unleash the hounds. Yeah, we're going to have to deal with at least a few more zombies before this is over. Oh, or maybe not. No new Wiedergangers. Let's see if we can finish this. Reinhard handily dispatches the last bandit on the north. But I don't think any of us can actually reach that crossbowman this turn. We're still probably going to see some Wiedergangers, so we'll keep most of the raiders where they are, but we'll start moving Kairon towards that crossbowman. Oh, you know what? We can just cut this short by letting the last guy go. He probably doesn't have anything worth keeping anyway. Okay, that's another fight under our belt. Though Sergeant Baggins did come out of this one a little worse for wear. And it looks like Mark is once again pulled MVP with 5 kills. Good job, Mark. As for loot, hey, it looks like we got another unique item after all. The Hedge Knight Slicer. At a glance, it definitely looks pretty similar to the Blood Spiller we just found, but I'll have to compare them side by side. We also got some pretty nice armor. Nothing unique, but some heavy lamellar and a palette-swapped great helm. Anyway, I've got loot to sort, and we're well past the 30-minute mark, so we'll call this an episode. See you next time. Hey, RetconRaider here. Well, it looks like we're starting off the final crisis on a high note. Sure, Sergeant Baggins took a bit of a beating, but otherwise the raiders really came out ahead today. We finished up 2 more contracts, took out 2 big groups of bandits, murdered a vampire, and even found 2 legendary swords. I guess the game is trying to make up for lost time, because it really feels like we've been finding an awful lot of unique items lately. It would have certainly been nice to find those earlier in the campaign, but I guess it's better late than never. At the very least, we'll be well equipped when we go up against the Ancient Legion. Speaking of which, next time we'll be headed back to Dornan to turn in our latest contract and hopefully pick up another one. We're getting pretty close to finishing our current ambition, after which our final goal will be to bring the Undead Crisis to an end. Much like with the Orc Invasion and the Noble War, we can influence the Undead Crisis by completing contracts and destroying strongholds related to the crisis. I'm not sure if that graveyard encounter qualified or not, but given that we got a legendary sword out of it, it certainly didn't hurt us. Anyway, I've got loot to sort and some new gear to hand out, so I'd better get to it. This is RetconRaider, signing off. Thanks for watching. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Battle Brothers, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, or the FanRun Wiki. Links are in the description.